guys, no bits or skits or intros for this video, okay? I got limited amount of time and I got to get one thing across, and that's this beautiful store behind me, fullydelusional.shop, where you can purchase an unblocked slightly t-shirt, a limited supply, and guys, they're going so quickly. If you don't get one, I'm just gonna say it, you're a fucking idiot. All right, so go ahead and pick up a shirt, fullydelusional.shop, while supplies last. The Mavericks are up 3-2. I can't wait to talk about this game and this basketball team. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, go fuck yourself, Slightly. Yeah, I love you guys too. No, I said go fuck yourself. Yep, love you, man. Love you guys. The Dallas Mavericks win a huge Game 5 on the road, beating the Clippers by 30 points. I mean, they really took it to them. And now they have a 3-2 lead heading back to Dallas with a chance to close out the Clippers in 6. And this was just a dominant performance from not just the Dallas Mavericks as a team, but Luka Doncic, who, you know, his struggles this series, shooting-wise, has been well documented and discussed. But last night, he was Luka Doncic. 35 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds for Luka, only 2 turnovers, a plus 28. Again, you see the shooting numbers, 2 of 8 from 3. So it's not like he was red hot from 3, but he was absolutely electric. Now, I'm going to try to do some quick math here off the top of my head. All right, 14 minus 2, that equals 12. 26 minus 8, okay, I believe that equals 18. So 12 of 18 on 2. So while he wasn't shooting the 3-ball well, the Mavs, Luka and the Mavs as a team around the paint were just absolutely unstoppable in this game, and it's why their offense looked as good as it did. And guess what? Maxi Kleber also had 5 threes in this game. Huh? Luka Doncic is the only player in NBA history to average 8+ rebounds per game, 8+ assists per game in the playoffs, and he's also second all-time in playoff points per game. And this is just an absolutely insane stat. Luka has at least 20 points in each of his first 16 road playoff games. That's the longest streak to start a career, surpassing the 15 straight 20+ point road playoff games from Michael Jordan. That's crazy. That's crazy. You've scored 20+ points each and every road game you've played in the playoffs. I mean, hello? And I mentioned Maxi Kleber knocking down 5 threes. That is the 3rd time in Maxi's postseason career that he has hit 5 threes in a game. That ties him with 8 other dudes as the second most in franchise history. Nick Van Exel, Steve Nash. Some of these guys won MVPs. Dirk Nowitzki, remember him? He was an MVP that one time. Steve Nash was an MVP those 2 times. And then Maxi Kleber with 3. An insane playoff riser. He's shooting 60% from 3 in this series. And if we just kind of look at the game logs here for the Mavericks over the course of this series, you see their offense is just progressively getting better to the point where it was last night, where they were just absolutely phenomenal. A 126 offensive rating for the Mavericks. Something really interesting here. They shot 100% at the rim. And I went and I looked. They were 16 for 16 at the rim. Meanwhile, they held the Clippers to, what was the number? 13 of 33 at the rim. 16 of 16 for the Mavericks, 13 for 33 from the Clippers. And that's just exactly what this Mavericks team wants to do. Is they want to be big, they want to be physical, they want to prevent you from scoring at the rim, and they want to score at the rim themselves. And that's exactly what they did in this game. And their half-court offense was absolutely unstoppable as well. 114 offensive rating in the half court. That is incredible stuff. It really feels like the Mavericks are starting to figure out things here offensively, and that bodes very well as we head into a potential clinching scenario in Game 6. Let's just get it started. Why do I think the Mavs offense was so good in this game? It's because Luka was very aggressive and very assertive. It was Luka's best game of the series by a lot. One of the best games he's had in the playoffs, period. I know it's not statistically the best, but his aggressiveness and his assertiveness and getting downhill and attacking put the defense in such a compromised state. You have Zubac up at the ball screen. Great attack by Luka. And now Derrick Jones Jr. can just slip behind the defense with a little baseline cut. Nice lob. Beautiful. And now we see Luka right here just using Terrence Mann's aggressiveness against him. Has him on his hip the entire way down the court pretty much. And then that little floater that we've been waiting on and wanting Luka to get to a little bit more. Just unstoppable. And just the amount of pressure that Luka and Kyrie Irving can generate on the rim can just open up so much for your offense. You see Kyrie right there getting in the paint. Zubac has to step up and help. Paul George does a really bad job there preventing that lob. Easy. Great read by Kyrie. Again, aggressive Luka attacking in the paint, getting that floater up. Misses it, gets his own miss, and puts it back up and in. You don't get stats like that, guys, without 200 IQ plays. That's just Missing it, knowing you're going to get the offensive rebound. That way I can at least pad my rebounding stats. This is a basketball genius, folks. And my goodness, the Mavericks defense was good in this game. And Derrick Jones Jr. has been playing his ass off. He deserves so much credit for how well he's played in this series. Look at him getting out and blocking a Paul George 3. Derrick Jones Jr. had 3 blocks in this game. 2 of them were on threes. And this was an interesting coaching adjustment by Kidd. I saw somebody point this out on Twitter, but early in the game, the Mavs were cool with having Derrick Jones Jr. on players like Amir Coffey and PJ Washington on players like Terrence Mann in the corner. That way they can be the low guy and help on these drives. And that just adds length to around the rim. That's why the Clippers struggled so much at the rim, is because the Mavericks just threw so much size on all of these drives and dump offs and lob attempts, whatever the case may be. PJ Washington, great help. That allowed Derek Lively to get there and block the shot. This was a great read by Luka right here. Here comes Lively to set the screen. Zubac's in a drop. Now, ideally, if you're dropping right here, this lob really shouldn't be there. But Luka just throws it up in traffic anyway, because Harden doesn't really, Harden could have easily bumped Lively right there to prevent a lob or prevent him just walking right into the paint. And Terrence Mann doesn't really stand any chance at all. So that's a good read by Luka. And kind of a wild pass with that much traffic right there. But again, that's the aggressiveness and the assertiveness that Luka was playing with last night. MVP shit. Of course, James Harden was a brick festival in this one. I mean, that floater doesn't even look remotely. You see that floater right there, and you're like, oh, okay. That's why they made that decision a couple games ago. Okay. A little annoying he made all of them, and a little annoying he made every single fucking one that he shot in game 4. But then you see this one in game 5, and it's like, oh, okay. That makes sense. That looks like a very uncomfortable shot. Mavericks, I believe, scored 25 points in the first quarter. A lot of missed shots, a lot of missed threes, which has been plaguing the Mavericks so far in this series. But they turned it on the rest of the game. 30-plus points in each of the remaining 3 quarters. And their offensive process was just so good. This is a miss by Derrick Jones Jr., but again, it's Luka attacking Zubac's in a drop. Paul George comes over to help, and that's a kick out to a wide-open shooter. And you just hope that he makes the shot. And the Clippers will live with Derrick Jones Jr. knocking down or shooting those shots. But again, it's that assertiveness, the aggressiveness by Luka that opens up everything. Everything offensively. And I can't... Man, he was good. Look at Derrick Jones Jr. I mentioned he had 3 blocks, 2 of them on threes. This was the second one. Get that shit out of here, you grifter. You're a grifter. Hey! Speaking of the grifter, how about another missed floater? Now, this is what the adjustment maybe should have been in game 4, right? If you're going to let Harden get that floater, how about some size down low to help prevent it? You have Maxi picking up Harden. So you have size on Harden's hip and then Lively protecting the rim to make that shot even more difficult. I was saying this in a playback stream, but floaters are not really that easy of shots. I know NBA players make them look easy. That's a great job right there. This really got Daniel Gafford going. I thought he struggled quite a bit in the first quarter of this game and was really good the remainder of this game. And maybe this is something that gets him going right there. Look at that, huh? Daniel Antetokounmpo. Yeah. We'd love to see that. Again, here comes James Harden looking for the floater. Daniel Gafford there to help. And look at PJ Washington staying connected to James Harden, staying on his hip. And a great block right there. Terrence Mann driving. Hell no! Oh, where's Westbrook? Hell no! And then here came the barrage of threes from Maxi Kleber. This is what I'm talking about, the offensive process here for the Mavs. PJ Washington had a couple really nice passes in this game, by the way. But Kyrie's getting 2. Derek Lively in the middle of the floor. Smart pass out to PJ Washington. Good attack. And then a kick out to an open corner 3. Love that. And this time it's Luka just attacking Norman Powell. Going right at him. Defense collapses. Maxi Kleber in the corner. Knock it down. Don't you know who that guy is in the playoffs? Huh? Don't you know? He's one of the most insane playoff risers in the league. Genuinely, this man has shot over 40% in each of his last 3 trips to the postseason. He's really that guy. He's shooting 60% from 3 in this series. Come on, man. Get him in the 3-point contest next year. And you love to see this from Luka. Great job going up and getting that rebound over Zubats. And then just aggressive attack downhill. No one can stop you. You're too strong. You're too strong and too big. Everyone's scared of you. Great job. I mentioned that finger roll. Hopefully got Gafford going. This was a straight-up murder attempt. I think Gafford could do prison time for this maybe if they were to investigate it. God, if he got that to go. If he got that, they should have just canceled the series right there. Just end it. Look at this defense by Maxi Kleber. Look at him chase around Paul George. And then recover to tip that lob out. I mean, what Maxi is so underappreciated. I've been saying it all year long. Some of the criticisms against Maxi are so incredibly unfair. There's not a lot of guys in the league his size who can do what he does defensively. There's just not. And when he's knocking down threes, obviously offense is the thing that's always going to be the thing with Maxi Kleber. But when he's knocking down threes, he has a skill set that is incredibly valuable. That's great. That's a great job by Luka. Good patience right there. Making Plum Dog millionaire, fully commit. Now Maxi's just by himself for a practice three. And again, that guy should be in the three-point. Playoff Maxi should be in the three-point contest. Like, can we just bottle up playoff Maxi? And again, I don't think it's a coincidence. The two biggest wins of this series for the Mavs, Game 3 and Game 5, the bigs were both very much involved early and often. And a lot of that was an aggressive Luka. Good lob right there. Foul. Every single time. D his ass up, Derek Jones Jr. D him up. Look at Maxi there to help. And then look at how quickly. Get that shit out of here. What? Look at how quickly Maxi recovers. There to help. Pass to Russ. Boom. Maxi's there immediately. Holds Russ in the air long enough for Derek Jones Jr. to come in and swat that. And look, I don't want to be that guy. The Mavericks won the game. Okay. But if I'm the Mavs, I'm sending shit like this to the league. I don't think this officiating has been very fair in this series because I think Paul George and James Harden get some insane whistles. Okay. And just on the other end, the Clippers are playing very physically defensively, which is cool. I want that. What is this? How is that a foul on Derek Jones Jr.? Can somebody explain it to me like I'm a toddler? Don't fall for this grifting nonsense. Great job by Gafford contesting that without fouling. Don't fall for that grifting nonsense. Kyrie Irving, man. Kyrie was really good in this game. His stats weren't the best. Shooting-wise wasn't the best. But, man, he just did everything the Mavericks needed him to do. It was great defensively. Look at this move. Now, this elicited a response from future former Maverick LeBron James on Twitter. Future former Maverick. Do the math in your head. Look at the handles. Full speed down the court, dribbling like that, finishing. Look at PJ Tucker on the bench. Look at PJ Tucker on the bench. D his ass up, Derek Jones. Absorb that bump. Absorb that forearm shove. Derek Lively ready to help. Luka tips the pass. And then Luka contesting without fouling right there. Yes, sir. Luka had 3 and 1s in this game. Again, just forcing his will. Getting to his spots. Finishing. Aggressive. Flexing. Oh. Look at that look. Uh-oh. 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 And getting to that spot again. That little floater. Pretty much the same exact spot as the end one. And he was so good inside the three-point line in this game. The three ball you hope will drop at some point. You hope it'll drop at some point. When you have lower body issues, it's hard to generate power, especially when you're stepping back. But, man, he was so good inside the arc in this game. Look at the defense. Look at the intensity. Derek Jones Jr. Look at Kyrie. Look at the communication. Tell him to play up. Kyrie's there and help. He's ready to help. Maxi. Look at everybody scrambling. Look at the incredible job by Maxi sliding over on this Zubats roll and then Lively being right where he needs to be on that Russell Westbrook cut to protect that shot. I mean, this is size right here. Let's not forget, Luka's a big human being. This is a lot of size right here in the paint. You've got Maxi ready to contest the Zubats shot. Russ is coming in on a baseline cut and a great job by Lively. Not jumping or, falling for this little jump pass here for Zubats. Just being ready to contest this shot at the rim and getting the block. That's incredible. And then look at Maxi Kleber, man. Again, a player this size being able to do this stuff defensively. He's with us! He's with us! Weird wonky possession here in transition. Russell Westbrook getting back. Some people thought that was dirty. I don't know. I need to see another angle, I guess. But Derek Jones Jr. Hey! And one! Please look at the bench reaction to this. What is Daniel Gafford got going on? Again, I thought the Mavericks' offensive process in this game was so good. This is a missed shot here. But Lively gets it in the middle of the floor. And just a great pass. I mean, just Mavs playing with an advantage. You got two guys going at Luka off the ball screen. Somebody's going to be open. It's Kyrie Irving, and you live with this shot 10 times out of 10. Just didn't get it to go. But you love that process. And then here, off the offensive rebound, Luka just immediately attacking Plumlee. Forces Paul George to step up. Easy lob to Lively. Just picking them apart. Then Luka hit 2 threes in this game. I believe he was 2 of his last 3 from 3 in this one. So maybe that's a sign that Luka's going to get it going from 3. Hopefully it's a sign. Again, you love this. The aggressiveness from Luka, how involved the bigs were, just had the Clippers scrambling. The Clippers, who have not really overhelped that much at all in this series, this game were just lost defensively. And we won't talk about that miss by Josh Green. But Josh Green's a great corner three-point shooter, and you love that shot. But just look how much attention here is in the middle of the floor. All 5 players on the Clippers are in the middle of the floor to stop this Luka and Gafford pick and roll. That leaves Josh Green wide open. I think, again, we won't talk about the shot itself, but you got to love how Josh Green made up for this. This was a kind of an important moment in the game. It was a 16-point game. The Clippers went on a little mini run here, and it looked like they were going to get this thing down to like 15 going into the fourth, which would have been a little interesting. And Josh Green in the corner. Terrible, awful closeout by Plum Dog Millionaire. And one. How do you say and one in Australian? Look at this beautiful play. This is a little wrinkle in the Mavs offense that would be great. The roll guys throwing lobs to each other. How about that? Great cut by PJ. And then way to read the defense. Oh, yeah. And we're just going to leave with this. All right? Luka, another and one. He had 3 and ones in this game. Look at him. Yep. Oh. Hold on a second. Demon's home. He heard all the shit talk. It's go time. He's on so many steroids and drugs right now. He doesn't even know what's going on, but he knows he's locked in. That's all that matters. I'm sorry, I lied. That's not all. Jaden Hardy had 14 points. And I believe 6 minutes of game time in this one. 14 points and 6 minutes of game time. He doubled up James Harden's point total in garbage time. Sorry. Don't mean to laugh like that. But no, he did. And I saw some stats that it was the most points scored in under 6 minutes of game time in the history of the playoffs. Now, I could be wrong in seeing that, but I saw it on Twitter, so it must be right. Either way, Mavs come back home. Game 6, chance to close out the Clippers. If they play like this, you got to feel very good about their chances, ladies and gentlemen.